Hi everyone, it's New Jersey Garden. I wanted to do a tour of my vegetable garden, and I have a little raised bed here on the deck. I'll start with that. This is just some lettuce that I had planted in the spring, and I have found with the lettuce growing that for me this year it worked out better for me to plant the seeds close together and just harvest like a cut and come again method of harvesting rather than just trying to get large heads of lettuce. In the vegetable garden you'll see the lettuce was planted further apart, and I tried to get heads of lettuce, but the lettuce grew really slowly for me this year in the vegetable garden bed, and I didn't really get full heads of lettuce developing on them. So next year I'm going to plant more in this style, just in containers like this. And over here I have some Swiss chard I planted from some seedlings. I have more Swiss chard in the garden. And then here I have a tomato plant, and this tomato plant was a surprise for me. It is just starting to flower. And what I mean by surprise is it just showed up in my seed trays this winter when I was starting flower seeds. This just popped up, so I have no idea how it got in there. But it's starting to flower, and I have a feeling it might be a determinate type of tomato plant. It's really bushy, so I haven't been pruning it like I would with indeterminate varieties. And last year I grew tomatoes in the vegetable garden, and they grew really well. They were all indeterminate types, and I pruned them, I staked them, and then at the very end of the season, the tomatoes, as they turned red, all got black spots all over them. So I don't think it was tomato end rot. I think it was, or blossom end rot. I think it was some other fungus or something, and I don't know if it's in the soil or not, but so I'm a little wary of growing more tomatoes. But this one is doing well. Over here I have one potted pattypan squash, and as you can see, it looks like a squash is developing. I love how large the squash flowers are, and I'll show you when we get to the vegetable garden, but I planted several of these pattypan squash in the garden, and I wrapped all of them with aluminum foil to try to prevent the squash borer from getting in. I was seeing little holes in the base of some of the squash plants in the garden, and they were tiny, and I didn't know if they were the vine borer, but I decided just to wrap them with the aluminum foil just to see if that would do anything. I had seen that method. If I find that I am getting more damage, and you know, if I feel like I do have a squash borer, I will get some probably Captain Jack's dead bug powder and sprinkle that on the base of the squash. Last year I tried to grow winter squash and none of them made it. They all died, from what I gather, they all died from powdery mildew, and this plant seems like it's just starting to get powdery mildew. So today I sprayed it with a solution of 12 tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide to 1 gallon of water. And I have used this hydrogen peroxide water solution on my tomato plants in the past, and it worked really well to stop funguses from spreading on the tomatoes in the past. So I'm trying it now on the squash, and where I got the recipe was from the Rusted Garden. It's a YouTube channel, and Gary on the Rusted Garden, for squash, he in one of his videos recommended 12 tablespoons per gallon. So that's how I came up with the proportion of hydrogen peroxide to water. So I'm excited for hopefully a lot more squash. So let's go down to the vegetable garden and see what's growing there. Along the border of the vegetable garden, I planted marigolds to try to ward off some bad insects and hopefully attract good insects. Over here on this side of the bed, we had purchased some strawberries, and they all produced fruit in June, early June, and I think they're done for the season. And I think one of the runners planted itself. I think I have a new little strawberry growing possibly. And so I'm excited for next year. Hopefully we'll get more strawberries. Then over here I have two different varieties of cucumbers growing here. The one on the left is growing a little faster than the one on the right. It's called, the one on the left is a Ukrainian slicing cucumber. And I just started tying these up. And what I do is I use this Velcro, these Velcro plant ties. It comes in a circular roll and you just cut off what you need. And it's really gentle on the plants. And I just tie it loosely to these stakes. And I did this last year. I had a lot of success with this method. So I recommend using the Velcro plant ties. And the cucumber over on the right is just growing a little slower. I'll be staking those up further in the next few days. They're called swing cucumbers. And what's interesting to me is it's my first year growing them, and they are all female flowers. So I'm assuming that means I'm going to get a lot more fruit on the plants. The cucumbers over here, the Ukrainian ones, have male and female flowers. And so far, I think I only have male flowers. They look like just yellow flowers. And you can tell the difference between the male and the female because the male flowers just have a thin stalk behind the flower, and the female flowers have like a little tiny cucumber fruit directly below the flower bud. So far I think I only have male flowers on the Ukrainian cucumbers. I had very good yields with the Ukrainian slicing cucumber last year, so it'll just be interesting to see if I get a lot more cucumbers with the all female flowers of this swing cucumber. And here's an example. Down here you can see the female flower with the fruit attached to the bottom, right below the flower. So all the flowers on the swing cucumber will look like that. And then over in the back here, I'm growing more pattypan squash, just like the one that I showed you on the deck. And I wrapped foil around the base of all of them just because I was worried about the vine borer. Like I said, all my squash died last year, and I thought it was from powdery mildew, but maybe it was from the vine borer. I don't even know what killed off all my squash. But this year I'm determined to have some squash. And so far I think I've only had male flowers on these ones that are here in this garden bed. And it's interesting that as the sunniest part of the garden is right over here, and as we get a little more shade, the plants got a little smaller. So I just fertilized these small ones. I'm hoping they perk up because they're just really small. I planted them in the garden. I think I planted these seeds on May 2nd, and it's the end of June now, so they should be a little bigger. But there is a little bit of shade from some tree cover above, so these ones over here just get a lot of afternoon sun, whereas the larger ones get all day sun. So I think that's why they're bigger. And then what's interesting is I found some little tiny tomato seedlings from last year in the ground, and they're kind of mixed in here with the lettuce. There's two varieties of lettuce here. The darker lettuce I thought tasted a lot better. That was like an butter oak leaf lettuce, and it was delicious. The one, the lighter color one is called tennis ball, and that was also very good, but it was a little bit bitter sometimes, probably from the heat. And I'm hoping I get another harvest out of the lettuce. The lettuce just grew so slowly that, like I said, next year I'm just going to plant lettuce in containers with the seeds close together and just do cuttings of the leaves. And then over here I have Swiss chard, and we've been harvesting the Swiss chard about every week. This is just rainbow chard. Next year I want to try some other varieties of chard. And then back here are the peas. Now the peas have a long history. They were planted in April. They got nibbled on by what I thought was a squirrel in May, and then I planted more peas. And then something kept eating the peas, the tops of the peas, and we couldn't figure it out. And we used a video camera, and we found that we have a groundhog in the garden. So it apparently likes peas, but the good news is it hasn't come back in a couple weeks, it appears, and we've been able to harvest some peas, and these are sugar snap peas, super sugar snap peas, and they're really delicious. And I hope to get a bunch more peas before either the groundhog comes back or the plant dies. It's doing okay in the heat. Our weather has gotten warmer the last couple weeks. It's been in the 80s and very humid. I'm going to try to show you a pea if I can find one. There's a pea right there forming, and the flowers are white. And then these little peas pop out just like that, and we try to come out here every day and try to find some peas, and they're just delicious. And then over here I have two different types of pole beans growing. There's one called Carminat, which has a purple stem, and it's going to have purple beans that will turn green when cooked. And the other bean variety that I have growing here right next to it is called Emerite bean, and so they're both pole beans, and they should get pretty tall. So I've been just adding I've been doing some funny staking here. I've been taking stakes together and taping them together and trying to add some height to the stakes, trying to use up what I have rather than going out and buying new stakes. So I do have a lot of shorter stakes, so I'm just trying to tape them together, and hopefully that will hold up to the weight of these beans. But I'm excited for the beans, and I just love the color of the purple stem of the Carminat. It's just interesting. And then the flowers on the beans, so far I've only seen flowers on the Emerite beans. I'm trying to show you. There's one there. It's like a light, like a kind of a mauve color. And those are really forming all over the place with the Emerite beans. So I'm excited to get beans soon. So here's another angle showing you the beans are all on the right side. And then the cucumbers are over to the left. And then there's the squash on the far left. So everything's growing really well. And I will keep you guys updated every couple of weeks with the vegetable garden and show you how it turns out. There is one of the tomato seedlings that I found just growing here, a volunteer from last year, so I moved it away from some other plants. They were all kind of clustered in the Swiss chard, so I just moved this over and tried to separate some of them out. So maybe we'll have some tomatoes too this year. That would be great. I didn't plan on tomatoes because I got my heart broken last year with what happened with the tomatoes, but this year hopefully we will get some tomatoes. So that's it for this vegetable garden tour. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe.